Welcome back to another beginner's gathering video. Welcome in everyone. And as promised in last video, this video is going to be super focused and mainly speed running to get the last two tier 3 tools that we have, our pickaxe and wood axe, up to tier 4. So what to expect during this video, like I said, focused gathering, general tips and advice, and streamlined pathing and productivity. So this zone has nothing for us, so we're moving to the next Road of Avalon, which is down here in the south corner. So we look at the rings to tell us where we're going. We're going into a tier 4 straightaway, or a tier 4 corridor. One other portal leads to another road. This has small wood, small fiber, small fiber. So we'll take big fiber, small fiber, rubber band to here, and then go small wood last. The fiber gathering spot synergy is, of course, fiber as its main gathering resource with the potential for skin. So we're probably going to be looking at fiber and skin in these. We will take the tier 5 fiber aspect, because even though we only have tier 4 tools, we're able to gather it. Fiber aspects are going to be the toughest ones for you to fight, because they hit very hard, but they also attack very fast. First sign of another player, we get out of there. So on to the next fiber spot. Unfortunately, it looks like he may follow. Yeah, he's chasing. So pop quiz, what do you do when you got a hostile player on your tail? Do you A, go to the next gathering spot and try to make some money, or B, run? And run fast. So with 2 hostiles in the area and potentially a third, we are going to pass up the small wood, and we're going to head for the next portal. Don't join random guild invites. This is a tier 8 zone, so this will benefit us not at all. This is a great thing to showcase, though. So this has, well, it says it's a tier 8 zone. It's supposed to have a Brazilian portal in here, but it actually doesn't. Very interesting. Maybe I read the dots wrong. Maybe it wasn't tier 8. Maybe it was only tier 6. That might have been my bad. I was a little flustered by the bad guys. But either way, tier 8 or tier 6 benefits us not. Next zone leads us to a tier 6 corridor. Still pretty sure that I saw tier 8, but maybe I was mistaken. Truth be told, you don't want to take the portal that's been used up super recently. So we will go towards the further portal up here in the northwest. Now, starting out when you're limited by the tier of your tools, you are going to be doing a lot more running than when you have tier 6 tools and above, because you can't really benefit from tier 6 gathering zones. Even with tier 4 tools, you know, a tier 5 aspect will still take a very long time to gather. And you can't get tier 6 aspects at all. This leads to a tier 4 corridor. With a small hide and big fiber. Tier 6 wolf just respawned up here. We won't kill it for the skin, but we will kill it for the potential baby drop. Another blessing of enchanteds is the higher fame. It's just great for leveling. You get lucky and you find an enchanted tier 4 aspect. Even at 4.1, you are getting so much fame out of that. That's just easy levels for you. Another big reason why Roads of Avalon is great for leveling your tools. Stronger than us players, so we're not going to bother fighting him. And unfortunately, with him nearby, we're not going to be able to take advantage of the aspect there. Now remember, profit scales. So when you're max spec or you have tier 8 tools, those tier 5 treasures, they don't really mean much in the grand scheme of things. But when you're just starting out and you don't have millions in liquid silver, that extra 5, 10k at a piece, that makes a difference. This is a tier 4 crossroads. Now remember, when you're aspect hunting, you always want to check that outside perimeter. There's always the chance that there is another aspect, untouched, possibly enchanted, sitting out here on the edge. The truth is, just like any other gathering zone, whether it's roads, mists, or open world, the competition will severely limit your ability to profit and progress. So as we saw, somebody else has come through and gotten every single aspect in that area, thus stopping us from getting any aspect in that area. The only thing you can keep doing, no matter where you gather, is just buck up, keep your head down, keep grinding. You'll find what you're looking for, I promise. Sometimes you got to move out to the open world so you can jump zones, find a new portal. Now, since we're trying to get our axe, our wood axe to tier 4, I'm going to gather every tree node from here to the exit. Now, in the next zone, we will gather every tree node tier 3 and 4 between here and the new road that we're taking. I was not expecting this many trees between the entrance and the portal. Now that we're in one, we have a small wood spot and a road that goes deeper. The Avalonian orb throwers are the T5 bears of the Avalonian mobs. I've made the decision that I'm going to start attacking these single standers. Unsurprisingly, not a single aspect. So what I'm going to end up doing is we're going to go back, we're going to repair our tools, and then we're going to compare the rate that we're gaining fame in the open world. Now, on paper, should you get more fame in Roads of Avalon? Absolutely yes. But Roads of Avalon seems to be disappointing us in terms of aspect availability. Whereas we saw in the open world, nodes are a dime a dozen. So I will check this road. If it brings us into a tier 4 zone, we will explore it. If it does not bring us into a tier 4 zone, we'll back out to Tharkle Fissure. Wonderfully, tier 4 zone with a crossroad. Looks like we are being disappointed by yet another spot. Now, you've seen my other Roads of Avalon gathering videos. Usually, they aren't this sparse and this unfulfilling. Ah, here we go. This is exactly what we want now. Now that we have this, I will speed this up quite a bit. Unfortunately, we have to move off that because of a hostile player. So we were only able to get about half of that. Got us to 78% of the way to tier 4. So we're going to go ahead and take Carn's Hill. This is going to get us out to the Martlock area. We will go to Martlock, repair our tools, and then test that rate against the open world blue and yellow zone. Now, I'm not ashamed to admit it, ladies and gentlemen, but I may have been wrong. Tier 4 Roads of Avalon may not be as fame efficient as the open world. I may have been wrong here. Let's find out. Now, Martlock is going to be the best place for us because we need wood and ore, and Martlock has both wood and ore nodes. Now, unfortunately, it also has stone nodes, and stone is its main resource. So, not great for us there, but it'll serve its purpose. Move through so we can repair and depot, or, well, sell. So let's do, while we're running, a quick recap of what we learned. A, it's okay to be wrong. That's the biggest thing that you can learn when doing anything in life. It is okay to be wrong. What's not okay is never admitting when you are wrong. Admit when you're wrong. Recognize it. Learn from it. Own up to your mistakes. That's how you be a good person. That's how you grow as a human being. So that's the number one thing that we've learned. Number two thing that we've learned. Tier 3 tools on tier 4 materials, not efficient. You know, Fancanth was a little dumb with that. Not very efficient. Go for the level of tool that you have. It's faster. It'll give you better bonuses. And I've said it in my other videos, speed is everything. I was a fool to forget that, and we're going back to our roots. Speed. I'm attacking this guy for the weapon fame. Because higher weapon spec means we can take on higher aspects. We are over halfway there on mining and 17% remaining on wood. So now that we made it to Martlock, we're going to sell all of our stuff real quick and then really lock in. Now with all those sold, we are at almost 700,000 thanks to gathering alone. Now let's kick it into high gear. Closer to the main road and the exits are always going to be the lower tier of materials. So the further away that you move, the higher tiers you'll find. Unfortunately, Martlock's Highland area is the only area that has both wood and ore in the same zone. If only I could find some more wood, that would be fantastic. But we're getting plenty of ore. Less than 36% to go on the ore. This is, unfortunately, the life of gathering when it comes to leveling it up. No matter where you level it up, whether you're doing it in the roads or you're doing it in the open world, it is monotonous, it is slow, and at first, it may not be very profitable. But this is definitely one of those things that once you hit a certain level, you will see a huge curve. You will see a huge increase in your profitability, in the speed at which you're able to do this stuff, and that level is typically around tier 6. So, stay the line. Keep going. If you think you're getting bored, don't think that. Just keep gathering. And a reminder, we are doing this without premium. If you have premium, you will go through this so much faster. Premium gives you 50% more silver and loot per mobs, 50% gathering yield, 50% fame. So we're missing out on 50% fame because we just don't have premium on this particular character. If you have premium, you're going to go 50% faster. And all in all, it's not even been an hour and a half. I know this recording is sped up for easier consumption, to be honest, but it hasn't even been an hour and a half, and we've almost got the last of our tools to tier 4. So if you're on the fence, buy premium. Now, I'll retest it again. I just don't think time-wise, gathering the tier 4 nodes is going to be very efficient for us. It takes longer and only gives us 75 fame. That's unfortunate. %3 remaining on the wood cutting. What we'll do, once we get wood cutting to tier 4, we will move over to Fort Sterling so we can take advantage of the ore mobs. This process will go a whole lot faster when we can get both nodes and mobs. Final percent. And 20% remaining on the path to tier 4 ore. And there is tier 4 ore, the obligatory prompt to get premium. I do recommend it. We'll get these tier 4 ore nodes. Sorry, that was the tier 4 lumberjack, not tier 4 ore. Tier 4 lumberjack will get the tier 4 ore nodes. We will recall back to Martlock and then go to Fort Sterling so we could take advantage of the ore elementals, the roaming mobs. That will sizably increase the, or decrease the time to get this last 19%. So we will repair, put everything on the market. The teleport from Martlock to Fort Sterling will likely be 40-ish thousand. 46,000, 47. And now we simply go out this way. And we get to work on that last 19% to get tier 4 ore. Being out here just a few minutes, we're already up to, or down to 17% remaining. Between these two nodes, we might even get down to 16. There it is, 16%. So, like I mentioned earlier, if you are without premium, I strongly recommend not doing what I'm doing right now and only level up one tool at a time. With that one tool, you are going to want to level it up in the zone where it has the roaming nodes. So, Skin, Bridgewatch, Stone, Martlock, Fiber, Thetford, or Fort Sterling, and Wood, Limhurst. And we are already down to 10% remaining. %. 8%. 7%. 'I'm not about to let myself get ore locked there. 6%. 5%. 4%. 3%. 2%. And final 1%. And there it is. Now we have gotten all 4 of our tools to tier 4. So we will go ahead and spend the 1,000 silver to recall. And now that we've gotten that, let's recap another bit about what we've learned. First, if you're gathering without premium, the best and most efficient way to do things is 1 tool at a time. Take that tool, go to the appropriate city or appropriate region, and gather with the mobs. Even though we were gathering a tier above, the tier 4 with a tier 3 pickaxe, gathering the mob still was very efficient for us, and we flew through that final 20% in single-digit minutes, I believe.
I have lots to trade.
So we will get everything on the market. We will even sell our tools. And now we will buy tier 4 tools. So, tier 4 pickaxe. And tier 4 wood axe.
Deal.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have all 4 tier 4 tools. And this is where we can really have some fun. So what to expect on the next gathering video when it comes to this specific beginner series. Next, we are going to dabble a little bit in the black zone, and I will show you exactly what that looks like. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you all so much for bearing with me and enjoying this content, even though this was a little bit more ASMR. Thank you all so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and hopefully you've reached the end point here, and I will see you guys next time.